All right, ready to dive into the world of asphalt. We're talking about how to ace that Asphalt Laboratory Technician interview.
It's a critical role, making sure our roads are smooth and safe, so let's make sure you're prepared to impress.
This isn't just about knowing the tests. It's about showing them you understand why it matters.
Absolutely. And we're going to break down those common interview questions, give you the inside scoop on crafting answers that really stand out.
And we got a little something special later on, right?
Oh, yeah, we'll be talking about RoleCatcher, that AI tool that can help personalize your approach. But first,
Interview questions. It's classic. Right out of the gate, they're going to hit you with, what experience do you have in asphalt laboratory testing?
and if you're thinking, well, not a ton, that's why I'm here, don't sweat it.
Exactly. You can still knock this one out of the park.
It's about drawing on any experience where you had to be precise, follow procedures. Think back, did you work in a research lab? Quality control.
Even something like a part-time gig where you had to be meticulous, that counts.
You're demonstrating transferable skills, right? Instead of saying, I haven't worked with asphalt, you say, at your old company I gained experience in, and you tailor it.
Love it. So you're organized, you pay attention to detail, what's next?
Get ready for what methods do you use to ensure accurate and precise test results?
Okay, I can already see people wanting to just say, I'm careful, but we can do better.
Way better. This is where you show off your knowledge. Talk about calibrated equipment, how you'd make sure it's maintained properly.
So we're getting specific, mentioning calibration, showing them you're not just winging it.
Exactly. In my previous lab, I always calibrated them. And you mentioned a specific instrument, a balance, an oven, whatever you're familiar with.
Details, details. I like it. Okay, I'm feeling confident. What else have we got?
Get ready to talk about mix designs because they might ask, what is your experience with testing asphalt mix designs?
Now this one feels very specific to the asphalt world. What if someone listening hasn't actually done that yet?
Even without direct experience, you can still nail this. Start by explaining you understand the importance of mixed designs.
Right, how it affects how the pavement performs the durability, cost, even how noisy the road is.
It's a whole science. You can mention different gradations, binder properties, how those impact performance.
So even if it's more theoretical at this point, showing that you've taken the time to learn about it goes a long way.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about equipment. What types of equipment have you used in an asphalt laboratory?
Here's where those lab experiences, even from other fields, become super relevant.
Think back, ovens, sieves, maybe even something like a Marshall stability test machine. Anything ring a bell?
And if you can't remember every single name, don't panic.
Not at all. Describe what it does, what your role was. I've used even if you're like thingamajig in your head, you describe its function, measuring strength, whatever it might be.
Showing that you're familiar with the tools, even if the exact name is escaping you at the moment.
Right. It's all about showing you've been in that environment. Now, safety, huge in any lab, right? How do you ensure safety in an asphalt laboratory?
Seems straightforward, but I bet there's a way to make this answer really stand out.
There is. Think beyond gloves and goggles. Talk about protocols, understanding the hazards, keeping a clean workspace. It's all connected.
So it's that proactive mindset, not just, I follow the rules, but I get why these rules are important.
Exactly. Maybe mention specific safety training you've had, handling hot asphalt, working with certain solvents.
Impressive. Okay, we're on a roll. What's next?
Let's talk quality control, because they might ask, how do you ensure quality control in an asphalt laboratory?
All about the details, right? Making sure those results are reliable.
Absolutely. Here's where you bring up industry standards. ASGO, ASTM, even if you're just starting out, showing you're aware of these is huge.
Shows you thinking bigger picture.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand the importance of following ASTM standards, demonstrating that knowledge is key.
So you're not just going through the motions. You're thinking about why these standards matter. Okay, shifting gears a bit. Data analysis, it's everywhere these days, including asphalt labs.
Oh, absolutely. They might ask, what is your experience with data analysis and reporting?
And people might hear that and think they need to be statisticians.
Not at all. It's about showing you can think critically about the numbers. Have you used spreadsheets, data analysis software? Mention it.
Even if it's more about that thought process, how do you gather data, interpret it, present it clearly?
Exactly. And don't forget reporting. How would you document your findings? Lab reports, presentations, concise notes, it all matters.
Showing that you can communicate what you've learned, whether it's to another scientist or someone who's never set foot in a lab.
Communication is key, and it ties right into our next topic, teamwork.
Yes, because lab work isn't always a solo endeavor.
Right. What is your experience with training others in the laboratory? Is something they might ask.
Okay, time to show off those interpersonal skills.
Even if you haven't formally trained someone, think about times you've had to explain something complex clearly or help a teammate.
It all counts.
Highlight how you communicate, how you problem solve as a team, how you share knowledge.
Painting that picture of yourself as someone who's great to work with. We've covered so much ground already.
We have, but we're not done yet. Ready for more. We're about to tackle a tricky one. How do you ensure compliance with industry standards and regulations?
Ooh, that sounds serious.
It's about showing them, you understand, it's not just about knowing the rules, but actively staying up to date.
So, being proactive, showing that you care about getting it right.
Right. Mention things like industry publications you follow, online databases, even professional development courses.
So even if you don't have every single regulation memorized, you're showing that you're eager to learn and you take it seriously.
Exactly. You could even say something like, I make sure I'm up to date by checking resources like, and list a few AASHTO's website, ASTM publications, things like that.
Nice. It shows you're not just going through the motions, you're invested in doing things the right way. Okay, how about something a little less formal?
Less formal.
Yeah, we talked about regulations, but what about just staying organized, managing your time, all that good stuff?
You're talking about the question, how do you prioritize tasks and handle conflicting priorities? Classic.
It's so easy to just say, I make a to-do list, but how do we make this answer really sing?
Give them examples. Have you ever had to juggle multiple projects? A sudden change in plans?
A really, really busy day in the lab where everything seemed to happen at once.
Exactly. Tell that story. Talk about how you prioritize, how you stay calm under pressure.
Because let's face it, things can get a little crazy sometimes.
They can, and they want to know you can handle it, still deliver great work.
For sure. Okay, we've talked about technical skills, staying organized, but what about those less tangible things? The stuff that makes you a good colleague, a good team player?
Those are so important, and while you can certainly talk about them, a lot of it comes through in how you present yourself.
Your demeanor, how you listen, all that.
Absolutely. Eye contact, active listening, showing that you're genuinely interested. It makes a difference.
It's all part of that overall impression.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of putting your best foot forward, remember we were going to talk about RoleCatcher.
Oh, yeah. It's not just about generic advice, it's about tailoring your approach, and that's where RoleCatcher shines.
Okay, so walk us through it. How does it actually work?
So you upload your CV or resume, right? And their AI analyzes it, figures out your skills, your experience.
Smart.
Right. Then you can search for jobs, and it'll match you up based on what they're looking for.
It's like having a personal recruiter in your pocket.
Kind of. But even better, it's got this whole database of interview questions, and get this, it can analyze your answers, give you feedback based on that specific job.
Whoa, that's next level.
It's like having a coach in your corner, helping you fine-tune everything.
Love it. And it can help you build your resume too, right?
Absolutely. Because first impressions matter, and your resume is often the first thing they see. RoleCatcher helps you make it count.
Awesome. Okay, so we've got RoleCatcher to help us out, but we still have a few more interview insights to share before we wrap up.
We do. These last few tips could make all the difference.
All right, so we're heading into the final stretch here. Got all our prep work done, even have RoleCatcher on our side. What could we possibly have missed?
Well, even with all the best prep in the world, it's those last few minutes of the interview that can really make or break you.
Okay, so we're talking about sticking the landing, making sure they remember us for all the right reasons.
Exactly. And a lot of it comes down to enthusiasm. Remember, they want to see that you want to be there, that you're excited about the opportunity.
Right, because no one wants to hire someone who seems lukewarm about the whole thing.
Exactly. So towards the end, they're going to ask if you have any questions, and this is your chance to shine. Don't just say, nope, I think you covered it all.
So what kind of questions should we be asking?
This is where that research you did on the company comes in handy. Did something about their work stand out? Maybe a specific project they mention. Or maybe you want to know more about their approach to something like sustainable asphalt.
It's a hot topic these days.
Shows you've done your homework. You're not just there for any job, you're interested in them.
Exactly. Oh, and don't be afraid to jot down a couple notes during the interview. You know, if something sparks your curiosity so you can circle back to it.
Shows you're a good listener. Okay, so good questions. What about those last few moments as they're walking you out?
That's when you reiterate your enthusiasm, thank them for their time, and if it feels right, ask about the next steps in the process.
So something like, thank you so much. I'm really excited about this opportunity, and I'm eager to hear what comes next.
Perfect. And a genuine smile, firm handshake, can't hurt either.
All about that final impression. Okay, before we wrap this whole deep dive up, I wanted to circle back to RoleCatcher one last time. Of course.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
such a game changer, especially for those who get a little nervous about interviews. It's like having that extra support.
Exactly. Like you've got a secret weapon in your pocket, helping you prep, practice, and really put your best foot forward.
It really is. And the best part is, it's not a one and done thing. You can keep using RoleCatcher throughout your career, exploring new opportunities, brushing up on those interview skills.
Like having a career companion right there by your side.
That's a great way to put it. And just like a smooth, well-maintained road makes all the difference when you're driving, that preparation, having the right tools can make all the difference in your career journey.
I love that analogy. So to all our aspiring asphalt laboratory technicians out there, go into that interview with confidence, show them your passion for quality, for precision, and remember, you've got this.
And don't forget to check out RoleCatcher. Might be just the thing you need to pave the way to that dream career.
Couldn't agree more. And that's a wrap on our deep dive into acing that Asphalt Laboratory Technician interview. Hope you found it helpful, and best of luck in your job search.